Well, hello guys, welcome back. And you probably got that bloom because I hit the key instead of a button. I know, never ending excitement on this channel. We tried to do a lot of things for you today and they just all fell out. Now I do believe, yeah, it's going to be past midnight when I get this up for you. But we had settling into each other day. The root on low is, we're back. And Legba and I can be contentious. We can love each other very deeply and we can fight. And I don't even know what he was mad about today, but he told me, I don't like when you, and he said something in that snippy tone he gets. And I looked at him and I said, well, I don't like those mean looks you give me, but here we are, Karen. And the look on his face was absolutely priceless. I couldn't have called him a meaner, more hurtful, hateful name if I tried. He just looked at me like I had betrayed him to a soul level. And I looked at him. And Odin's toddling around after me because Odin's back now too. And saying, maybe you shouldn't call him Karen. Well, if he gonna act like Karen, I'm gonna call him Karen. And Hooky was like, that was me. So you know the kind of household we run when Karen is the absolute worst thing we can call you. At least I didn't say okay, boomer. I'm getting hysterical laughter back here from Loki. And we did try to do stuff for you guys, and it just didn't work out. I tried recording in the jungle for you. The idea was for us to take a nice, relaxing walk and talk about anything other than current events, and it fucking disaster dumpster fire is what it turned out to be. And we're going through a troubling time right now. And so it's especially wonderful to try to get a family back together, especially a blended family. And really, whether you call it the love of gods or spirits or whatever you're happy with, it was funny. I saw one thing, a lot of people will call them gods in their own right. And they'll say gods would actually be more correct because before the big three influenced them. Well, whatever, okay? We're not here to argue theology. We're really not. But we're going through times when integrating all the different parts of the family is a little stressful on everyone. And I am not at a financial place where I was when I first knew them. When I first knew them, there were three adults that were earning some kind of income in this house, and we were all making good money, and any fucking thing they wanted, they could have as soon as I could get out to a store to get it. I don't have anything to offer them at this point other than what's already in the house. And luckily didn't throw most of their stuff out. And they don't really have anything to offer me. We never really understood why, but things broke around the time my mother was dying around a decade ago. Things broke down for them for whatever reason helping me, and La Santa came in and picked up the slack, and that's how I ended up starting to work with La Santa over a decade ago. And it's kind of, it'll be a point of seeing if we really truly love each other because I have nothing to offer them. They can still eat and take part in whatever's going on, but I have nothing to offer them at this point, and they have nothing to offer me. So if we can get along as a family, it means we love and care each other. And I better not call Karen again. I'm not going to be doing that. But he has been trying to say he pushes me because he thinks I can do better, and I was just so exasperated today. I said I'm doing everything possible to take care of myself. If there's better out there, why don't you show me, huh? Why don't you show me which way to go instead of keep pushing me? And he just kind of got shocked because I didn't think he ever thought, oh, he needs to show me. It's like I fucking hated it as a child when teachers would go, well, you have such potential. Fucking tell me what direction to go in. Potential to go where? Potential to do what? I really didn't learn how to study until I reached community college. Yeah, it took that fucking long because thanks to the American education system. And I got these set of tapes where there's a will, there's an A. I fucking learned to study. I turned my grades around, which where I flunked a lot of classes, got D's in a lot of classes, and, I had teachers that thought that I was, needed to be special needs, and it was just I didn't know how to study. I didn't fucking know, and I tried. I put hours into it, but I was doing it the wrong way. And I had a teacher recommend that. And once I did that, I got 4.0 for about my entire time that I was there, and I carried it into I went to another college, which I hate, so I won't name. And I carried it into there. I well got at least 3.8 to 4.0 my entire time. So, sometimes if you don't tell people what direction to go in, they don't fucking know. You know, they need you to give them clear details of this is where you go, this is how it works, this is how to get there. And I still have a set of tapes around here somewhere. Um, and no one had ever taught me. And the way that everyone else was teaching the study wasn't fucking working for me, but this system worked for me. And so I told Layba, I said, baby, if you want to get me somewhere, you have to show me the right fucking direction to go in, because I have no fucking clue. And it kind of was like a light came on for him. Just yelling at me and just being angry and disappointed I'm not fulfilling my potential ain't doing anybody any good. I'm like, you do know it's 2020, right? Fulfilling my potential might be a lot to be asking today. As you notice, I managed to fucking cut myself in the kitchen. I used to do that all the time. It's why I thank the gods profusely that I was able to get more band-aids, and, I was able to get first aid stuff during the lull and the crazy in this country. And, today was just a hard one on all of us. The best coverage I saw was of an Australian reporter. We have reporters here from all over right now, in case you didn't know. And he said, he was in front of a Target that was being looted. And he said, he can see people being mad at people taking TVs and that maybe that's a bit much. But he said a lot of the people they've seen coming out, he said the locals explained to him, they said these people are starving. They're starving, they're hungry, they need food, and nobody's giving them food. There's no food banks for a lot of these areas. There's no food left, so they're fucking starving. Of course they can take food. That's something morally right to do. If you were fucking starving and somebody already opened the door, by all means, that's nothing anybody with any kind of heart or conscience would, judge them poorly for. I had a somewhat distant uncle before my time, like a generation or so before my time, that went to jail for his entire life because he stole a loaf of bread to feed his family. So I'm like, yeah, I can fucking see that. And I worked in a store where we kind of had the same unofficial policy. If people were so fucking hungry that they stole, not entitled people, truly poor people that couldn't pay for their food, I would pay for it out of my pocket or someone else would. It's just the right human thing to do. And a lot of stores, thankfully, will pass food out the back door or something like that if they can. Sometimes you have to be careful if the law catches you, or the health inspector catches you, but you try to do what you can. We're supposed to take care of each other as a country and just as decent human beings. If we did take care of each other, we wouldn't be where we are right now, but unfortunately we are. And I think what I'm going through is kind of a lesson for all of us, where we have to learn to set aside whatever makes us, what we perceive makes us different, and see everything that's similar about ourselves, and help ourselves and help each other out of this mess. And I'd asked Odin what he thought about reintegrating all the family, especially now. And I got Thurizaw's upside down, which was, you're whining and you're being cowardly and you're being unmanly and you're doing all this stuff, and what you should really do is stand up and prepare for a fight, because Odin speaks to you in loving words. And it was also, you are going to succeed, but this is going to be fucking painful. And I said, why does everything I pray to you for involve pain? It's good for the soul, my dear. So, but in good news, we're fucking lucky. I know we're all having hard times. We are, all of us. And there are things that we're all worried about personally. We don't know how we're going to make it through. But I'm not the best cook in the world for stuff I haven't made before, but we made those chicken and dumplings again. You just take some flour and you mix it up, and I do it wrong and I cook in the oven so the consistency is not right. But made that with like a can of chicken and we make a fuck ton of that stuff, and then if we're really lucky and we have the sausage gravy, we put that in and then we bake it off, cook it off some more. So we made that and we had a package of biscuits and I made biscuits and it's really good and I'm glad we have it and I'm thankful we have it. It's not luxury food in a fine penthouse somewhere, but it's food I'm happy and it's passable food. I looked up how do you make dumplings and I didn't make them the right way. I know how to make dumplings, but you know what I mean. Trying to make them in the oven as a shortcut, it doesn't I still can't get it to do the right thing. I don't know if I didn't use quite enough flour or what I did, but it kind of all forms into a super dumpling that's like kind of like a cake and it floats to the top. And yeah, I gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing wrong, but I don't know. You're supposed to cook them on the stove in boiling water, not what the hell I'm doing. But I'm trying, man. I'm trying. So, I hope you guys are having a good one. And, these aren't easy times on anyone. And we're all going to help each other through it, a little bit at a time, day by day, and just, try to set what we see as differences aside and try to work together. We have to be united to make it through this. We're not going to make it if we break off into tiny little groups and we fight each other. So, just try to look out for each other, try to protect each other and speak up for each other. And, if you find this useful, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.